Acabó con su ex esposa porque no lo dejaba ver a su hijo, pero en el juicio cargó contra su suegra, madre de la víctima, de la forma más aberrante posible.
She hated you. You're a loser. You know, to do that to your child is pretty sick and disgusting. So, talking about being a good parent.
Nadie entendía a qué se refería el asesino.
It could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
Pero la secuencia de los hechos era lapidaria en su contra. Minutos después de matar a Therese Ann Lynch y herir a un oficial de la policía, Randall Moore dio los motivos de su crimen al 911.
I didn't want to do any of this.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
El horroroso crimen consistía en un secuestro, abuso y homicidio. Y todo porque Therese Ann había solicitado una orden de alejamiento en contra de Moore por la constante violencia que vivía. El caso ganó la atención de todos, pero la actitud del acusado durante el juicio generaría aún más repulsión y sorpresa.
Did to my daughter, Therese Ann Marie Lynch, was evil, hateful, and despicable. You are now dead and rotting and repulsive to me.
Read the journal she wrote. She hated you. She hated you. You're a loser.
Su sórdida estrategia era hundir a la madre de la víctima. Fue entonces que decidió contar lo que supuestamente había escrito Therese Ann sobre ella en sus diarios personales.
You know, as Therese Ann left, I started thinking about why she had left and what could have been done differently during this whole process. And then I started going through some totes of hers. I found a tote that had miscellaneous journals, and I mean, I went through every item. I read every single page of every journal that she had ever written since she was a little girl. And the most shocking thing that I came across, and I even shared this with my mom and my sister Misty here, they both read the letter, is a letter that Therese Ann wrote to her mom when she was a little girl. And it was addressed to her mom, it was sealed, but it was never stamped, never mailed off. And it talks about the sexual abuse that she endured at the hands of her father, Tim Lynch, and how she hated him for it. And these are quotes from the letter. It says, "I was young, only a little girl, so innocent and pure. He is evil and disgusting." And then talks about it. And then she talks about what he actually did to her. And this is over quite a period of time. That has got to be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not saying what I did was any better, but, you know, and then...
De una forma muy fría, intentaba sacarse cualquier tipo de culpa.
Talks in her journals about how her mom just walked out on her dad with no forewarning, no nothing, and how it ruined her life, and she hated her mom for that. And that's the reason she would never walk out on a relationship. Well, the day that Therese Ann died, me and her had a conversation, and Therese Ann, the first thing I told Therese Ann, I gave her the letter that I wrote for her that talks about the postpartum depression and the things that was going on in her head that I didn't understand as a man because I didn't know what postpartum was. I thought the reason my wife was bitchy and...
Su declaración era realmente repulsiva, pero lo que colmó la paciencia del juez y de todos los presentes en el juicio fue lo que dijo al referirse a su difunta ex esposa y víctima.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Therese Ann's death. It could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
Esa fue la gota que rebalsó el vaso y que hizo que el juez diera un discurso realmente difícil de olvidar.
And sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind. And if I do cross that line today, I'm willing to cross it and pay the consequences. Let me start off by saying if anything should burn in hell, it's not Therese Ann's yearbooks and her personal memorabilia. When you get to prison, there are 2 men you ought to look up because you have a lot in common. One of them I sentenced on May 3rd, 2010. He murdered his wife. She was divorcing him. He was lying in wait till she got out of work, then followed her on the freeway, pulled up beside her, put his weapon out the window, shot her, killed her. Of course, the car rolled over and over for a while before it came to a stop. I sentenced him for murder on May 3rd, 2010. On September 30th, 2010, I sentenced a young man to murder. Now, he wasn't married to the woman he murdered. He was living with her. And she was leaving him. He strangled her to death. You 3 have so much in common, I can't believe it. Yeah, shake your head, yeah, because you know you do.
El abogado no podía soportar lo que había dicho Randall Moore. Su intento por generar lástima en el jurado, además de su facilidad para quitarse la culpa de todo lo sucedido, realmente tenían al juez Novak hasta más arriba de la coronilla.
I am really glad you had your right of elocution and you could say everything that you said, because if anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were before you start talking, they know it now. The three of you that I'm talking, I've sentenced 3 people for murder in the last 7 months. And when I say you all have a lot in common, you sure do. And it's been said before and you can't be said enough. You're cowards. You truly are cowards. You prey on women. They give you their love. They give you their trust. And you betray that. You betray it by physically and or mentally.
Randall Moore finalmente sería condenado a 3 cadenas perpetuas sin posibilidad de libertad condicional.
The court doesn't allow me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.